Good morning, guys. Mr. Zuray here again. We're going to do another read aloud today, this time from 5 Minute Marvel Stories. This is a fun book, lots of different Marvel stories. But before we get started, we have to do our good morning song. Here it goes. Clear your throat. Gotta get ready. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Put a smile on your face, it's a brand new day. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Each day is a new gift to open and use. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. It's a brand new day. Good morning. All right, here we go. This is what the story is going to be, and then we'll do an activity based on it. I'll let you see up close 5 minute Marvel stories. It's just like the other ones we've been doing, but this one's Marvel. Today, the story we're going to read, the first one in here, is called The New Spider-Man in Town. Miles Morales is a student at Midtown High School in New York City. He's happy, and he has a thirst for knowledge, just like a lot of you. Especially science. Ooh. He was a young boy, just like any other, working hard and doing the right thing. But something soon happened that changed his life forever. Dun dun dun. While in chemistry class, Miles noticed that his good friend Peter Parker kept sneaking out of school. Miles grew suspicious, wondering if something was wrong with Peter, if he was okay. So one day, Miles followed Peter and watched as he snuck a mask from his bag. But it wasn't just any mask that Peter was sneaking. It was Spider-Man's mask. Miles couldn't believe it. When Peter was leaving school that afternoon, Miles called to Peter. Hey, Peter, where are you headed? Peter awkwardly smiled back and said, I've got an assignment for the Daily Bulge. Yeah, I've gotta go. Miles didn't believe that either. He followed Peter to a giant lab. Followed him to a giant lab. Inside the lab, Miles lost track of Peter, and he didn't notice the genetically altered spider slowly spinning a web and dropping down toward him. What? Yow! The spider bit Miles right on the hand. Miles knocked it off. He knew instantly that this was no ordinary spider bite. Instead of getting sick from the spider bite, Miles soon discovered that it gave him spider powers. I've got to figure out what this means. What should I do? He ran home fast. Think, 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 Miles told himself. If Peter really is Spider-Man, what did he do? Miles searched for articles about Spider-Man. Okay, so you've got powers. Check. Then what? You make a costume and you go stop bad guys. That seems obvious. With that, Miles created his own Spider-Man costume and leapt into the city. Now there's two Spider-Men. I can run on walls, Miles yelled as he scaled the side of the building. He was enjoying discovering his powers, and climbing walls wasn't the only one. Miles soon discovered he had an amazing spider sense that warned him of danger. What the heck? Miles couldn't ignore the ringing in his brain. That's when he noticed the burglars running behind him. In that instant, what started off as fun became very scary. Miles had a really big decision to make. Should I run from the danger and stay safe, or should I use my powers to stop these villains? That's a good question. Miles realized that if he was going to call himself Spider-Man, he was going to have to act like Spider-Man. Much to his surprise, Peter Parker, as the original Spider-Man, was already on the case. One of the criminals was getting away, but Miles was able to help. Hold on, helmet. Hold on, helmet head, he announced. The only place you're racing off to is prison. Miles had powers to match Peter's and was easily able to contain the thief. They helped each other. It wasn't until the action was over that Miles realized how much danger he was really in. He climbed to the top of a building and wanted to fade away, which is exactly what he did. This was a brand new power, one that Peter didn't have. He camouflaged himself into his surroundings. Whoa, that's fancy. Peter Parker swung up to where Miles had been. Miles, is that you? Peter called out. I recognize your voice. Believe it or not, I know what you're thinking. I went through the same thing when I first got powers. Miles was stunned. You did? Sure I did, Peter said. My Uncle Ben used to tell me that with great powers, there must also come great responsibility. That's true. Peter tossed Miles something from his costume. Here, you can have these extra web shooters for now, said Peter. Whoa, cool, Miles said. While testing out the new web shooters, Miles looked to Peter, figuring out what he should do. Maybe I could follow you around for a few days, see how it goes. That's a good idea. Learn from somebody who's done it before. I think that's a good idea. But you can't go around calling yourself Spider-Man, Miles says. That name's taken. I wonder by who. Oh, I'm definitely Spider-Man, Miles said, smiling again. The two swung off together to patrol the friendly neighborhood. It wasn't long before Peter got into quite a pickle, surrounded by some of the nastiest villains in New York City. And that's when Miles knew he was born for this. Look at that. The battle roared while Peter kept poking at the rampaging villains. Miles was terrified. How do you keep joking in the middle of a fight? He asked Peter. Aren't you scared? That's when the rhino grabbed Peter by the neck. Peter couldn't let out another word, funny or otherwise. Miles turned and let loose his newest power and last power and another power that Peter didn't even have at all. Miles would later call it his Venom Strike, and it put Rhino down for the count, and Peter was safe. Yay, he saved the day! Miles and Peter wrapped the baddies in maybe a little more than the usual amount of sticky stuff. Peter said, come on, if you're not going to change your name, you've got to learn at least to crack jokes. It's part of the job. Give it a try. Miles scratched his head thinking, while looking down at the webbed-up villains. Then he said, looks like you've got yourself into a sticky situation, evildoers. Peter laughed. Wow, somebody call the doctor. You have no funny bone. The end. Stay tuned for the activity. Welcome back, guys. So here we're going to do the activity for the Spider-Man story we just read. And for this one, I want you to get creative. Think. Use your thinking brain. If you could be any kind of superhero, what would you call yourself? And what would your power be? Think about it. Then I want you to draw it. So you use a piece of paper like this. And I'm going to use crayons. You can use markers, pencils, whatever you have to decorate it. Dump all my crayons out. And for me, I am going to call myself Teacher Man. Dun, 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 dun. And let's see. So I'm going to start drawing, and then I'll think about what my superpowers can be for Teacher Man. So first, I'm going to draw my body. Let me use a little black one. So first, I'll start with my head. There's my head. Draw a circle. You can see from the other camera that I have draw my circle. For my head, I got to draw my neck, and then here's my arms. And I'll draw one up here, like that. And I'll draw my legs. Now I'll switch colors. I am going to use orange for my costume because that's my favorite color. Color in my shirt. And I need, maybe I'll use this light color for my hands. And I need some shoes. Maybe I'll do some blue shoes. Oh, and I have to have a little logo in here, so we'll do a T for Teacher Man. Okay, so one of my superpowers is that I can shoot pencils out of my hand. So I'm going to draw a few lines here. You can see that I'm shooting pencils out of my hand. So when a bad guy comes, I can be like, shoot some pencils. Number 2 pencils, of course. And then my other one, ooh, I know. I can have rulers come out of my other hand. I have a special ruler on my belt. So I'll draw a ruler on here. That way I can measure the bad guys and see what I need to do next. And let's see, another superpower is I can give them a bad grade. So let's see, I have to draw a grade book in the other hand. Let's make it a green grade book. And they will feel so bad that they got a bad grade that they'll go right home and study. And they won't be doing bad anymore because they'll go right home and study. That's a good superpower. Alright, so now that I figured out some of my superpowers, I need to give myself some hair. Or should I wear a nice hat? Maybe I'll wear a hat. I should wear a blue hat to match my blue pants. Or my blue shoes. Maybe curved, like this. There's my blue hat and my grade book. And now I actually need some eyes. I have brown eyes, so I'll give some little brown eyes. And I need a nose. Doop. And then I need a mouth. Let's give red for the mouth. A little bit. Oh yeah, and I need ears. Everybody needs ears. That's the way I can hear the bad guys coming. And maybe my pants. What color should my pants be? We'll do a little bit different orange. There we go. That is my superhero. And I'm gonna write Teacher Man. And then you can add things like bad guys in the background. And you can draw other things. Make it as creative as you want. There it is, Teacher Man. So that's where I'm going to stop for mine, but you can do as much as you want on yours. And if you don't want to do just one, do a whole bunch. Like, you can make lots of different kind of superheroes, and you can show all kinds of different superpowers you have, things that you can do with it. And then a fun thing you can do is go act it out. Go play with your brothers or sisters, your mom and dad. You know, put on a blanket or a towel as a cape and go fly around as your superhero. I can't wait to see any of your examples. Take care. Have a good one.